We are going to begin on our backs today. So all on your breath and time, you'll go ahead and roll onto your back. Your feet can rest on the mat, or if you prefer, you can extend those legs nice and long. Or your other option is you can keep the soles of the feet down to the mat and then come into butterfly position, where you allow the blades of the feet to anchor into the earth and you allow the soles of your feet to kiss and then rest those arms to your sides. Can support the thighs if you're in this position by taking blankets, pillows, or any other object that gives comfort to hold and support those thighs. So whatever feels best for you. If your low back is really tender, I probably would advise that you let the soles of the feet rest on the mat and collide the knees together as the edges of your feet come to the ends of your mat. Arms are to our sides, and we'll begin by taking this full breath in through our nose. And then exhale, open mouth sigh, let that breath go. A few more times, inhale through that low belly, feel it expand up to the sky. And then exhale, decompress that abdomen, feeling that softness releasing through the hips. Another full belly breath in through our nose. Maybe as you allow that expansion to happen in the low abdomen, you feel your chest lift as well. And then you'll exhale, decompress, feel the soft wave of the body going down. Two more, inhale, full inhale. Exhale, feel that rhythmic breath releasing. And then one more time, big giant cleansing breath in. Pause at the top this time, just holding that breath there, feeling all this energy come together. And then on that exhale, open mouth sigh, let it go. Let all portions, all aspects of the body relax and release. Taking your tongue, lick the lips, seal them to one another. And then we're going to begin breathing in and out of our nose. As we begin breathing in and out of our nose, we'll constrict the back of the throat and drag that breath back and forth, finding softness as we inhale and exhale. You're allowing the weight of the body to be cradled and comforted here on the mat. You're letting this support occur naturally, so there's no force, no strain at this moment. Begin reflecting inward, drawing your attention and your focus onto yourself, acknowledging the thoughts that enter into the mind, acknowledging the emotions you're feeling, not gloating and not feeling disappointed, just observing with love and with gratitude. As you observe from the outside in, begin to ask yourself what it is that you desire, that you need, or that you feel your body may perhaps need that you haven't given it today. It could be that this is what it needs. It's your yoga time, your you time. Could be that you're dealing with an issue that perhaps you're not ready to talk about or say out loud. And so you internalize this. You find yourself releasing it, finding softness within it. Perhaps it's love and light that you feel you need. And so you encourage that for yourself. If it's releasing control, release control. Control doesn't have to overcome us. We can be strong yet soft. We can accept things for what they are for no reason at all. Whatever it is for you, though, as you take your next breath in, invite this breath with pure glee, with pure gratitude. And as you exhale, sigh that breath out, let it all go. If you have your legs in butterfly position, as you take that inhale, we'll all extend our arms up, and then we'll exhale, release our hands down to those thighs, bringing the thighs back towards one another. If your legs were long, you'll begin to exhale, bend those knees, allow the soles of the feet to come onto the mat. If your feet were already on the mat, heel toe your feet back towards one another. Begin to windshield wiper those legs right side to left side. And as you windshield wiper from right side to left side, just notice what's going on with the low half of the body. And then come back to stillness. As we return to stillness, we'll inhale, extend, and reach that right leg up towards the sky. Bend that right knee in towards our chest. Take your hands, interlace them, and wrap them around the hamstring. As you guide this right knee in towards your heart, extend that left leg nice and long. You're welcome to point and flex the right toes back and forth. You're welcome to point and flex the left foot as well. Whatever you do, make sure it feels comfortable and that you've dropped that hip or that tailbone down. Now I want you to go ahead and pause here. Pull the shoulders away from your ears, lightly connect the navel towards your spine, and pull your pelvic floor muscle up and in. So that's that Kegel muscle. Through that strength, you're letting the tailbone drop down. You're flexing the right foot, the toes pointing up towards the sky. And then if you happen to have your strap, go ahead and release your hands, grab that strap. If you don't have a strap, keep your hands interlaced around this hamstring and extend and lengthen that right leg up towards the sky. So it may be that your hands are around the lower portion of your hip. It may be that you've taken that strap and you've placed the ball of your foot, not the arch, inside of that strap. If you have a towel, use a towel or a blanket. If you're at a 90-degree angle and this feels comfortable, remain as you are, maybe even sliding your hands down this towel or your strap so that the elbows anchor into the earth, or you may be at a greater than a 90-degree angle. As long as you feel that length through your hamstring and you're not locking the knee, that's where we're at. Take a few inhales and exhales here, noticing how your hip points can release and you can find length for the hammy. Connect with your breath. Close your eyes if you'd like. We're here 2 more inhales. And 1 last big breath in. Slowly, if you have the strap, towel, or blanket, begin to bend your knees, slide your foot out from that strap or blanket, wrap your hands once more around the hamstring and trace a few circles with this right ankle in one direction and then the opposite direction. On that next inhale, extend and lengthen that right leg up, hands release, and you'll exhale, lower that heel down to the earth. Inhale, extend and lift that left leg up, bending the knee into your chest, hands wrap around the hamstring. Feel that elongation as you point and flex both the right and that left foot back and forth, and maybe even ankle circles. And then pause in the center. As you pause in the center, perhaps you flex both the right and that left foot, connecting pelvic floor muscle up and in once more, or perineum muscle if you're a gentleman. And allowing that tailbone to drop down. Your back is comfortable on the mat. Your head is not lifted. If it is, I encourage you to rest it on something to give support to the back of the head and the neck and the shoulders. Take another full breath in here. Let that breath go. When you're ready, either taking your strap, placing it around the ball of the foot and extending and straightening your left leg up, or keeping your hands around that hamstring or fingertips around the hamstring, extend and lift your leg up. With or without that strap, neither is incorrect. We just work with what we've got. As you extend the leg up, feel the length of your hamstring. If your angle is greater than 90-degree angles, perfect. If your angle is 90-degree angles and you feel the sensation there, pause. Or if you need a little bit more, extend the toes closer towards your head. Slide your hands if you need to down the strap so that you can rest the biceps on the mat, or actually it's our triceps, not our biceps, and the elbows down to the ground. A full belly breath in here. And a full belly breath out here. Feel that femur connect to the hip socket. Feel the quad engage and that softness through your kneecap. You've got 2 more inhales here. And 1 last big inhale here. And then as we exhale, if you have that strap, you know what to do. Begin to bend the knee, step your foot from outside of that strap or inside of that strap, hands wrap around that hamstring. As you wrap those hands around the hamstring, maybe a few ankle circles back and forth. And then pausing here on that inhale, extend and straighten that left leg. And as you exhale, lower that left heel down to the mat. Go ahead and bend both the right and that left knee now. Toes are on the ground. Exhale, those knees pull into your chest. Either your right hand goes to the hamstring and your left hand goes to the hamstring, or you slide both the right and that left foot into your strap and you extend those legs up towards the sky. As you extend and straighten up towards the sky, the angle of your legs can be anywhere from a greater than a 90 to a 90 or less than a 90. Make sure that you've placed the strap around the balls of the feet and you're not squishing that little pinky toe versus placing that strap around the arch of your foot, causing any strain or tension along the arch of our foot. Drop the tailbone down, feel your shoulders shrug away from your ears. Take a full breath in here and let that breath go. You've got 2 more. And this last one, big breath in, and then exhale, you'll release. When you're ready, bend those knees. As you bend the knees, slide the feet from the strap, pull those knees in towards your chest, rock your body right side to left side. As you take your next breath in, find stillness and extend that right leg nice and long. Lift that left leg up towards the sky. Cross that left leg over your right side. From here, arms reach up towards the sky. And as you exhale, begin to crawl your ribs towards this right side, maybe grabbing your left wrist with your right hand or opposite. If you need a little bit more curvature, take your right heel towards that top right corner. Make sure that you're finding that opening to the left side of your body, but you haven't lifted the left hip all the way. That left hip is finding length and you're breathing in completely. If you prefer not to bind your arms, that's okay. They can rest to your sides if your shoulders are really tight and tender. We're trying to open up to the side body to release that low spine and our low back. A full breath in. And as you exhale, letting that breath go, maybe you can look over to the right side of the room, or if it feels best for you to look neutrally, look neutrally. One more inhale here. And that exhale here. On our next breath in, we'll release our hands down to our sides so that we can use them to walk our ribs back towards center. Releasing that left leg off the ground over to that left side. Inhale, that right leg lifts up. Exhale, cross that right ankle on top of the left. Once you're ready, begin to walk your hands towards the back and ribs to the left side. As you walk the ribs over towards that left side, if you need a little bit more, you can begin to walk your heels over towards the left edge of the room as well. Breath in through the nose, opening through the side body, feeling the shoulder relax away from the ears. Inhalation is long. Exhalation is deep. 2 more just like that. Inhaling through the nose. Releasing that breath. 1 more. Let your body relax, but connect the pelvic floor and the core muscle. Let that breath go when you're ready. And then releasing those arms to your sides, walk the frame of the body neutrally, releasing that right leg off the left. And then if you need to walk this left heel neutrally, walk it neutrally. Inhale, arms reach over your head, arch your spine, almost like you're catting it. And then exhale, release the back to the mat, bend those knees, soles of your feet onto the mat. Tuck the knees in towards the chest, lift your head off the mat, wrap your hands either around the shin bones or hamstrings and give yourself a nice squeeze. If possible, and you're not on a too hard of a surface, begin to rock your body back and forth. So up and down, massaging the spine. Make sure you're only looking at your kneecaps, your toes, so that you can massage that low back. Only when you're ready, either rolling over towards that right side or as you come up, have a seat and work your way onto all fours. As you work your way onto all fours, you're on your palms and you're on those knees, and then begin to wiggle those hips right side to left side. As you wiggle the hips right side to left side, we'll draw a breath in through our nose and we'll exhale, let that breath go. Find stillness in your tabletop, tucking the toes under, pull the shoulders back, and then inhale, dropping the belly down, retracting those shoulders. You'll guide and lift your heart up towards the sky. Feel the length through your sternum. On your exhale, your feet press into the mat. You'll dome your spine to cat it up. And inhale, tucking those toes, a soft bend of the knees, a soft bend of the elbows, gazing up. Exhale, doming that spine, sliding the hips towards the back just a little bit so you can cat it up. Last time, inhale, toes tuck under, breath is vibrant. And then exhale, doming that spine, catting it up, pressing the palms into the earth. On our next breath in, we'll neutralize the body. And as we neutralize the body, our big toes come together, our knees separate out to the edges of the mat, and you'll exhale, slide the hips back for that child's pose. Extend those arms towards the top of the mat if your shoulders feel good, and bow your chest down as you exhale. Take a full breath in here. And as you exhale, melt and release your heart as far down as you're capable. If your head is floating off the mat, then maybe bring your elbows down to the mat, stack your hands on top of one another, or stack your fists on top of one another, and then rest that space between your eyebrows on the stacked hands or fist. You can windshield wiper your head from right side to left side or temple to temple, massaging that third eye or that little pressure point that resides in between those eyebrows. My little furrow lines, you're trying to soften your gaze here. So let those eyes be soft within the eye sockets and relax the features of the face so your jaw is soft as well. Coming back to center, draw a breath in. Let that breath go. If you have your hands stacked, begin to release, extending those arms forward. We'll inhale, begin to lift our heart up. On our exhale, we'll walk our hands towards that top left corner, stacking that right palm on top of the left. And then exhale, bowing our heart down. As we bow that heart down, sending your right side of the body further towards that right side, but extending the left fingertips and the right fingertips towards that top left corner. You bow the chest down. Align your ears along the same plane if possible with your biceps, or maybe if that's not a possibility today, you begin to bend that left elbow so that you can rest your forehead down on the mat. Take a full breath in regardless of where you're at. Rotate the right rib cage towards the left as you let that breath go. Pressing the palms into the earth, inhale, lift up. Walking the hands to center, exhale, your hands begin to walk towards that top right side now. Stack the left on top of the right. And then exhale, mimic what you did on the opposite side, finding all those soft connections with your own breath and your own body, creating these beautiful shapes, allowing yourself grace and gratitude for the beautiful being that you truly are. Again, you can bend the elbow if you need to so that you can rest that forehead down on the mat so that there's no strain on your neck. Take a full breath in here. Let that breath go. One more inhale, and as you exhale, rotate that left rib cage to the right side and bow your heart down. On the inhale, the arms press or the palms press into the mat, and we walk them back to center. Begin to lift and guide your heart up, and as you lift and guide that heart up, you'll come back onto all fours. As you wiggle the hips from right side to left side, you may even want to throw in an additional cat-cow round or anything else that feels right for you. We'll pause in tabletop position. And as we pause in that tabletop position, bring those knees close to one another, walking your left hand a little bit closer towards the center, anchoring the body through that left palm. Find that length through this left arm, and then inhale. Take that right arm either up to the sky or directly like the letter T, and then exhale, thread that needle. So you're bringing that right hand in between the left arm and that left side of your body. Pausing here. Start to extend and reach the right fingertips further and further towards the left edge of the room. You can take this left hand anywhere it feels right. It can stay right where you can see it. It can extend to the top of the mat or to that top right corner, or even inhale it up towards the ceiling, bending the elbow. Hand comes to the small of the back. Wherever it feels the best for you, you're feeling that length as you keep that tailbone elevated up and as you keep reaching through this right shoulder. A full breath in, letting this right temple rest on the earth. Another big giant breath in, letting that breath go. Last one, and let that breath go. If you have your hand bound behind your back, inhale, release. If you have your hand towards the top of the mat, slide it back, press into the earth. Inhale, we extend and lift up towards the sky as we bring this right arm up and rotate that shoulder a few times. Work your way back to center, palms down on the mat. We'll switch it out. Right hand slides a little bit closer for stability. Instead of dipping the chest down, press through the palm. Inhale, either extend to the letter T with that left arm or up to the sky, and exhale, thread the needle. As you thread the needle, release that left temple down to the mat. Extend and float the fingertips towards this right edge of the room, and then decide what you'd like to do with your right hand. Stay where it is, extend it to the top or up to the sky, and bind behind your body. Nothing is incorrect unless it doesn't allow you to breathe in fully. So if you can't breathe in fully, find where you have that breath work entering the body. Maybe smile here as you take your next breath in. And as you exhale, let that breath go. You've got two more here, pressing your fingernails into the earth, feeling that length through the side body, Last inhale and exhale. If the arm is bound, inhale, release. If the arm is extended, exhale, slide it down to your gaze. Everyone press that right palm into the earth. Lift the ear off the earth and extend up towards the sky with this left arm. Few shoulder circles to bring back blood flow and mobility, or that synovial fluid to cushion the joint. And then release the palms down. As we release the palms down, we'll go ahead and wiggle our hips once more, right side to left side. As we work our way back on all fours, we're going to take 3 more rounds of cat-cows. This time it's going to be roller coaster cat-cows. So tops of your feet onto the mat, hips slide back, arms are extended so you're not stacked at this moment. And as you inhale, bend those elbows, drop your chest down, retract those shoulders, lift the heart up. Exhale, dome your spine, catted back, work the hips towards the heels. 2 more, inhale, slither forward. And exhale, roller coaster back. Last time, inhale, big breath in, press and lift. And then exhale, round the spine, taking it back. And then inhale, we'll neutralize our body. As we neutralize our body, those knees come together. We're tucking our left toes under. We're inhaling that right leg back. As that right leg reaches back, slide the weight of the body back a few inches. Drop that foot to the back of the room. Curl that right hip forward. Tuck the chin towards the chest as much as your body permits, or feel your crown reach towards the earth. You're welcome to rock back and forth, or if your preference is side to side, side to side. I like the back and forth, but sometimes others like side to side. Elongate that hamstring here. A full breath in and a full breath out. And then pause as you send the heel to the back of the house, as you curl that hip a little further up. On our next breath in, we're looking towards the top of the mat, sliding the weight of the body forward, lifting and floating our right foot off the earth. Slide or step your right foot to the left edge of the room, and then exhale, press this right hip towards the right side, looking over our left shoulder. A big inhale through the nose here, and feel the obliques wrapping towards this left side, and then that full breath out here. On our next inhale, look to the top of the mat. Slide your right foot directly behind you. Hook your left foot over towards the left edge of your mat. Anchor through your left palm. Bring that right hand across your heart and up towards the sky. Breath in here, and then if you'd like, extend your right fingertips towards the top. This may be where you stay, or if you'd like, inhale, the arm reaches up, and we'll exhale, bend that hand, placing it on our hip. Lift and float that right leg off the ground. Stay here if this is where you need to stay, or curl the heel in towards the body or the knee in towards your chest, reaching and grabbing that ankle. If you don't grab the ankle, no big deal. Maybe it's just curled and your hand rests at your hip, or your arm can reach out. So many variations. Just do what feels great in your body. You're the only person that can feel these sensations, so make sure you feel wonderful. Wherever you're at, one last breath in and that breath out. On our next breath in, if we're bound, we're releasing, and we're exhaling, dropping the blade of the foot down, rotating this right hand around, squaring our hips, lifting that right foot, and a couple of giant circles with this right knee to the right side and then to the back side. Release and lower, shimmy your hips right side to left side, and then lift your left wrist and take a few circles back and forth. Place that palm down to the mat, and all on your breath and time, knees together, tucking the right toes under. Inhale, that left leg goes out. Breath in, core is strong, and then slide the weight of the body back, drop the toes down to the back end of your mat. Arms are not in line, but you begin to exhale, taking your chin to your chest, pressing the palms into the earth, hugging that left hip forward. A full breath in here, and that big release out. One more. And if you want to slide back and forth, you can slide back and forth or side to side. Go ahead and pause as you exhale. Press the heel back, hug the hip forward. And on our next breath in, we'll look to the front, sliding the weight of the body towards the top of the mat, lifting and floating our left foot off the ground. Cross this left foot over towards your right side, squeeze your thighs, and exhale. Look over your right shoulder and send this left hip towards the left side. A breath in as you extend through the crown of the head like a turtle peeking out of its shell. And that full breath out, you press through this left hip. On our next inhale, gaze to the top of the mat, extend and slide your left foot behind you. Hook your right foot to the right edge, stabilize through your right palm. Take your time as you inhale and lift that left arm up. If you're ready to extend the left arm towards the top end of your mat, extend it towards the top. And if you want to keep it up or on your hip, whatever feels right for you. If you're ready to lift up, inhale, the arm can go up, and exhale, bend the elbow, hand to the hip, lift and float this left leg off the ground. Curl the heel in towards the body or the knee in towards the chest, either or none of the above. Make sure that you can breathe completely, that you feel that expansion of your lungs, of your abdomen in the low space. And as you exhale, you're releasing anything you no longer need. Another full breath in here. And that big release out. And then on our next inhale, we all release, extending the arm and the leg, dropping the blade of our foot down, spinning the arm down, rotating our hips to point forward. We'll float that left leg off the mat and trace a few circles to bring that synovial fluid to cushion our hip in each direction. And then return the knee down to the mat, wiggle those hips right side to left side. Lift your right wrist if you need to, just because you were on it and it might need a little bit of love. And then place that palm down to the mat. Tucking your toes under, inhale, lift those knees, and exhale, tilt your hips up. As you tilt your hips up, you're in that inverted V or a downward facing dog. We're marching or paddling our feet out back and forth, gaining even more length through the bottom of our feet to the hips. So calves and hammies. And then pause in stillness. Your heels might be slightly lifted. Your knees may be generously bent. As long as you feel the tailbone reach up towards the sky and you feel your crown anchoring towards the ground, you're in perfect position. Rotate or hollow out the armpits so you're turning your biceps inward. You're taking a full breath in here. You're letting that breath go. On your next inhale, you're either lifting the heels, looking forward, walking in between your thumbs, or if you prefer, lifting those heels, walking your hands towards the back end of the mat so that your hands come to your feet. Regardless of what you decided to do, exhale for that forward fold. And then inhale, lift up halfway for our flat back. Pull the shoulders away from your ears, gaze down to the earth, and then exhale, fold the body back down. Separate your feet hip width distance apart, or maybe even further. Press those outside edges of your thighs to the outside end of the mat. And then bend those elbows, grab those arms, hook your thumbs if you'd like in between your bicep and your forearm, or maybe just anchor and grab those elbows. Sweep or sway your head right side to left side. You're finding that length for the low spine, the hamstrings, and perhaps your glutes. You're also letting that head dangle so that there's no creases in the back of the neck. Come back to center when you're ready. Release the hands down to the ground. Walk your feet back towards one another. Breathe in, and as you breathe in, bend those knees and rise all the way up. Circle sweep those arms up to the sky. Maybe the gaze goes up, the palms will kiss, and we'll exhale. Bring your hands to prayer and at our heart space. Anchor through the soles of the feet with eyes closed. Inhale, pull your shoulders up. Exhale, roll the shoulders down. Blinking those eyes open. Inhale, circle sweep your arms up towards the sky. Exhale, pull the heads of the elbows down. Allow the muscles of your ribs to wrap around the ribs. And then inhale, those arms reach up. And exhale, we'll release our hands down to the ground. Step back with that left foot. Drop the left knee down to the ground, top of the left foot on the earth, anchoring through the sole of that right foot. We inhale and lift our arms all the way up. As we lift our arms up, we'll draw a breath in, and then we'll exhale, pull the heads of the elbows down. As we pull the heads of our elbows down, feel your hips get heavy, but feel your shoulders roll up. One more inhale here, and that exhale here. On our next breath in, the arms reach back up. We'll exhale, frame that right foot, curling your left toes, lifting that left knee, or leaving that knee down. Your choice. Inhale, extend and lift that right arm up towards the sky. So if you curled the toes and lifted the knees, you're extending and reaching through your fingertips. If you left the knee down, no big deal. All on your breath and time. We'll exhale, release the hand down. If you have the knee on the earth, tuck the left toes, lift that left knee, and everyone step back into the downward facing dog. From that downward facing dog, draw a breath in. Let that breath go. Draw another breath in and let that breath go. On our next inhale, lifting the heels, rolling our vertebrae forward into plank, we'll release to our knees. Hug the elbows in, reach to the crown of your head, and then exhale. We'll brush our side body with our arms and lower our heart all the way down. As we lower our heart down, extend your hands out to the edges of your mat. So beyond your mat, hook the elbow heads back. Back is tender. Take those legs wide. Back is good. Keep them tight. Inhale, lift up for modified cobra. It could be 1/2 inch to maybe a foot. Exhale, release the heart back down. Inhale, lift it back up. Exhale, the right shoulder dips to the center as far as your body allows, and you look over to the left side. Continue to pull the shoulders away from the ears and feel the scapulas come together behind your back. Inhale, you'll come back to center. Exhale, switch it out. Left shoulder goes down, hugging the shoulder blades together, looking to that right side. Inhale, come back to center. And then exhale, release your body down. As you release the body down, let your chin rest on the mat or the forehead. Float your hands off the mat and trace a few circles with your wrists in each direction. Now slide those palms down by your breastbone. Pull your elbows in. Rest your forehead down on the mat, tucking the toes under. Inhale, plank on our knees. To exhale, wide-legged child's pose as we send the hips back and open up those thighs. Breathe in through the nose here and breathe out of the nose here. Another full breath in and another full breath out. Work your way back into tabletop as you inhale and lift up. Knees come together, toes tuck under. As the toes tuck under, inhale, lift the knees, exhale, downward facing dog. On our next breath in, we'll lift the heels, bend those knees, either walking our hands towards the back of the mat or walking your feet in between your thumbs, either or. Exhale for your forward fold. Inhale, lift it up halfway. Exhale, bow it all the way back down. Inhale, sweeping the arms to the sides, up to the sky. We grow nice and tall. Our palms will kiss, and we'll exhale. Let our hands come into prayer and at our heart space. Inhale, the shoulders can pull up. Exhale, we'll drop the shoulders down. Inhale, circle sweeping those arms up towards the sky. Exhale, heads of the elbows pull down. Inhale, reach up nice and high. Exhale, bend those knees, flowing the body down to the ground. Step back with that right foot, lower that right knee down to the ground, and take your time as you inhale and lift your body up for that low lunge. As we come into our low lunge, we're finding peace with ourselves here. And as we exhale, we'll pull the heads of the elbows down, keep reaching through the crown of the head, feeling that length for our hip flexor. One more breath here. Smiling if you can, letting that breath go. And then inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands frame that left foot. Decide if you want to lift the knee by tucking the right toes, lifting that right knee, or keep your knee down on the mat, either or. Inhale, extend and lift up towards the sky with your left hand. Shoulders pull away from the ear. One more breath here. And then exhale, we all release our hand down to the ground. If your knee is already off the mat, step back. If your knee is on the mat, tuck the toes, lift the knee. Take that left foot back to meet the right and exhale into downward facing dog. From our downward facing dog, inhale, lift the heels, roll the vertebrae forward into plank. Plank on our knees. Hugging those elbows in. We'll exhale, lower all the way down. As we lower all the way down, this time we're going to slide our arms forward for Sphinx Pose. As we come into that Sphinx Pose, pull the shoulder heads away from your ears, lift through your sternum, feel it completely from your pelvic floor all the way up through the chin. And then neutralize that gaze or close your eyes. Press those palms into the mat. And if this is too high for you, then I encourage you to bend those elbows, lowering your rib cage down to the mat and finding a variation of this Sphinx Pose. Should be a little bit more gentle for our body, a little more so than even baby cobra. You're still strong through the abdomen and you're still strong through the kneecaps. So you're allowing yourself to engage those quads. One more breath here. And that breath releases here. Begin to drop the chin towards the chest. Pull your elbows out to the left and to the right. Release the rest of your ribs down. Slide your hands to your breastbone. Tuck those toes under. Elbows squeeze our body. And we'll inhale, rise up for plank on our knees. Tucking those toes, lifting up. Exhale into downward facing dog. On our next breath in, we'll lift the heels, bending those knees, looking forward, walking or stepping our feet in between our thumbs or back as we exhale for forward folds. Inhale, we'll lift up halfway. Exhale, we'll bow it all the way back down. And then inhale, doming our spine, rounding our body, those arms sweep up. Exhale, this time just pull the heads of the elbows down, lift yourself up, and inhale, those arms reach up. On our exhale, we'll fold forward, releasing our hands down to the mat. Anchoring through the sole of your left foot, step back with that right foot. Pivot that right foot into warrior one stance, which is a 35 to 45 degree angle. You can also shimmy or step this left foot out further to the left edge to stabilize your frame. Only when you're ready, inhale, lift it up into that warrior one. A lot of things happen here in warrior one. One of the greatest things that we do is we try to force our hips to align. So don't hyper or extend and rotate. Instead, think of your heart squared. The other thing that happens here is we start to protrude our chest forward because we're trying to pull this right hip around. So instead, stabilize through that back leg, rotate the heart forward, sink your body, and bend that front knee as the arms reach up. Beautiful. Find a full breath in here. And that full breath out here. One more inhale, and then exhale, releasing the hands down to our sides. Either interlacing your hands or grabbing that right wrist with your left hand or grabbing those elbows. You'll draw a breath in, shoulders shrug back, belly is tight. So push that hip flexor forward, hug that left hip back, and exhale, bow it down for a little humble warrior. As you bow down for that humble warrior, it's a natural instinct to try to look to the top of the mat, but I want you to trace the line from your left toes all the way to that right leg until you find the zipping of your right and your left thigh. If for any reason or any point you need to release the bind and let your fingertips anchor you, release and anchor. Breathe in through the nose here. And then as we exhale, we'll all release our hands to frame that front foot. As we frame that front foot, inhale, we'll rise up halfway. With or without blocks, begin to straighten that front leg. Turn or spin your right toes so they're parallel to one another, maybe even step up a couple of inches. And exhale, bow it down for pyramid pose. Use that right foot as a hinge. So if that is too aggressive for you, lift the heel, bend the knee, sink into the hip if you need to as you gently hug this left hip back. So here's a little hybrid variation that I'm in. And then this is where you can be if you need a full expression of it. So none of these are incorrect. It's just meeting your body where you're at. Take another breath in here. Letting that breath go. One last big breath in, melt the heart, let that breath go. On our next inhale, we begin to bend that front knee as we look forward. Take your time as you step that right foot forward to meet the left foot as you exhale for a forward fold. On our next breath in, our big toes come together. We separate our heels and we press through the edges of our thighs and our toes. We'll sink the hips low and then we'll inhale, rise up for chair. Pull the belly in. We won't be here long, I promise. Palms together, hands at prayer and at your heart space. A full breath in, sink the bum a little bit lower. Test yourself today, your strength. One last breath in, and then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, we'll lift up halfway. Exhale, we'll melt it all the way back down. Inhale, reverse and rise, doming the spine, pulling the shoulders up, sweeping those arms to the sides and up to the sky. We'll exhale, pull the heads of the elbows down. Inhale, our arms reach up. Exhale, bend those knees as generous as you need to. Fan the hands down to the mat. Anchor through your right foot. Step back with that left foot. Pivot that left foot into your warrior one or that 35 to 45 degree angle. Shimmy or walk this right foot out towards the right edge of the mat. And then inhale, once you've found stability, lift up for warrior one. So I'm in a variation of warrior one. My legs are a little bit wider, so that I can hug this left hip forward, find my shoulders relaxing without forcing anything. I'm pressing, so press through the back blade of this left foot, sitting that hip flexor, tucking in just a little bit so that you can bend that front knee and feel the length and the strength that you possess. A breath in here. And then exhale, elbow heads pull down. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, hands fan down to our sides. Interlace the opposite way or grip opposite elbows. Find yourself stabilized first. Imagine anchoring down. One breath in and then exhale. Begin to hinge at the hips, dropping your heart parallel to the ground as this right shoulder comes to the right knee. It's very easy to open the heart up, so try to keep that left shoulder in line with your right. Take that gaze towards the back once more. Breath in and breath out. Last breath here and last breath out. Slowly begin to release. exhale, the hands come down, they frame that right foot. Fingertips anchor into the mat. Inhale, we rise up halfway, straightening through our right foot. Maybe use that left foot once more to hinge and use it as an anchor as you exhale and bow down for pyramid pose. So your legs are in a triangle shape. You're using that back left leg as a hinge, or even bending the knee if you prefer. If you prefer to bend the knee, as long as you haven't collapsed or collided the left knee to the right side and it's in line, bend it. It's all about finding what feels right in our body. Feel yourself engage the right femur into the hip. There's length through your hamstring, releasing our low back. Shoulders are away from the ears. One more breath in, and that breath out. Wherever you are, inhale, rising up halfway, bending that right knee. Step that left foot forward as you exhale for forward fold. Inhale, we'll rise up halfway. Exhale, we'll release it all the way back down. And then inhale, reverse and rise. Circle, sweep your arms out to the sides, up to the sky. Palms will kiss. Exhale, hands will come into prayer and at our heart space. Draw a breath in, shoulders can pull up. Let that breath go, shoulders roll down. Inhale, circle sweep those arms back up towards the sky. And then we'll exhale, forward fold. Releasing our palms down to the mat. We'll step back, right foot. We'll step back, left foot. Tilt our hips up into downward facing dog. From downward facing dog, lift the heels, roll your body forward into plank. On your knees when you're ready, elbows in, and then we'll exhale, lower all the way down to the mat. As we lower down to the mat, decide where you need those legs to be. And then inhale, rise up for cobra or even that baby cobra. Lift through the chest, lift through the crown, strength through your low back. And then exhale, we release and lower the body all the way down. Heel toe your feet back towards one another, tucking the toes under. Pull those elbows in, shift the shoulder heads back. Inhale, plank on our knees to exhale, child's pose. As we take that child's pose, we'll draw a breath in here. And we'll shimmy our bodies so that we can release and relax our chest to the earth. Take another inhale here. Sigh that breath out. Soft features so you're not clenching the jaw or forcing those teeth to chatter or clatter with one another. Another inhale here. And you're letting that breath go. On our next breath in, we'll begin to lift and rise up. Our hands crawl towards our knees come together, and then we'll drop the hips to one side and rotate ourselves so that we're on our bottoms. As we come to our bottoms, take a breath in, let that breath go. Extending those legs nice and long. Do you extend those legs nice and long? You'll go ahead and bend the knees so that you can come into butterfly pose. If you happen to have your strap and you want to use it, use it. Otherwise, just allow yourself to come into that butterfly pose. Your hands can wrap around your ankles. Your hands can wrap around the blades of your feet. A couple of things that you can decide for yourself here. Restorative butterfly, your toes come closer towards the top. A more active butterfly, your heels come closer towards your pelvic floor muscle or the root chakra. Interlace your hands, drawing the heart up nice and strong. Even if it's restorative, shoulders pull back and down. You're squeezing those ribs with the arms just to lift up. You're breathing in through the nose. And then you can exhale, bend your elbows, bowing your heart down. You can use those arms to open the inner thighs even a little bit more if you'd like. A breath in, and if you want to use the strap instead, some people like to use the strap and just use the biceps to curl up. So if that's where you're at, that's okay too. A breath in here and a breath out here. Another big giant breath in and that release out. If you're folded down, inhale, begin to lift and rise up. If you have the strap, release it. All on our breath and time, hands out to the outside edges of our thighs. Our knees come together. We step or slip the feet out, fingertips down to the sides or behind us so that we can windshield wiper those legs from side to side. Coming back to center, go ahead and take this left heel out towards that left corner of your mat. Bring that right foot somewhere along the inner thigh. Make sure you're not pressing into your knee, but it can come to the calf muscle if you need to. If this knee is lifted up really high, your right knee, use something to anchor it, but all on your breath and time, peel the love or the flesh from underneath the bottom. Turn your heart towards your left toes. And if you have a strap, you can use it here. And if you don't, no big deal. Wherever you're at, inhale through your nose tall, and then exhale, either sliding the strap around the ball of your foot or letting your hands rest on the sides of the legs, right to the right, left to the left. Breathe in completely. You're trying to release furthermore into the QLs, which are little culprits for causing low back discomfort. So if you need a massage it a tiny bit, know that you can. You've got another 2 inhales here. And last belly breath in here. On our next breath in, releasing the strap or pawing your way back to a seated position. We'll take our left leg, this left leg, as we cross it over towards the right side, will come to the sole will come to the mat. Release and lower your cheek down. So if your left hip lifted up, lower it down. And if this is too much, keep the knee bent, but bring that foot in front instead. Both of them are correct. You have 2 different options. One, you're welcome to extend this right arm up, dip your chest to twist, or if you prefer, drape it. Take that right arm around, lift up tall, and then exhale, anchoring the left fingertips behind you or to the side, look over that left shoulder. If you find yourself rolling to that right side, that means you've squeezed too hard and you need to relax and release and twist through the spine, through the low belly versus just forcing and cranking our shoulders to open up. Take a full breath in here. Let that breath go. Take another full inhale here. And we'll let that breath go. Wherever you're at, inhale, neutrally gaze forward, release and extend this left foot towards the front, slide that right leg out, and then keep those knees softly bent. We'll inhale, extend and reach the arms up. Flex those toes and wiggle them, and then exhale, fold forward with or without your strap, your choice. Inhale, lift the heart up so that you can hip or pull the hips back, and then exhale, bow that heart down. Inhaling through our nose, finding that soft edge as we let go. And last time, breath in and breath out. Inhale, we release and we begin to rise up. Our right heel now slides to that right side and we bring the sole of our left foot in. Anchoring your hips into the earth, supporting this left thigh. Rotate your heart to point towards the left side with or without your strap. Inhale, those arms reach up. Exhale, you begin to fold. And if it's a quarter of an inch, that's fine. It's wherever you feel it, because you're going to begin to feel that length through this left side of your back, right above your pelvic crest or the iliac crest. As you rotate this left shoulder down, you might notice it a little bit more. You might want to even bend your knee generously. So there's no reason to force the body into something it's just not ready for. But there's also no reason to go to your edge unless today you just need to be softer. Take a full breath in here, closing your eyes. Let that breath go. You've got 2 more. Inhale and exhale. Last giant breath in, feel the lift, and then feel that decompression. On our next breath in, we release the strap and paw our hands back towards our body. As we paw our hands back towards our body, send your left hand out towards the left side of the mat so that you can grab this right leg and cross it over. Decide if the cross needs to be in front of you. Decide if you want to bring it all the way over towards the left edge, your choice. Decide if it's inhale, arm up, and exhale, crossing, or inhale, draping your arm around this left arm around this right side. Anchor the right fingertips down to the mat. And remember, be generous with the shoulders. It's not that cranking motion just so that you can look over. It's all about stabilizing your hips, spinning and rotating, almost like a DNA coil, and then looking over towards that right side. Breath in, breath out. One more breath in, and that breath out. On our next inhale, we'll begin to look forward. Release and extend this right leg to the top. Extend that left leg to meet it. Wiggle or shimmy those legs out. And last time, we'll release the love and the flesh from underneath our bottom, and we'll inhale our arms floating up, soft bend of the knees, and then exhale, bowing our heart down. Wherever those hands rest, let it be. Shrug the shoulders back, close those eyes. Reflect on your breath, reflect on your intention or dedication. Another inhale here, and then you'll exhale, melt it all down. When you're ready to rise up, press the palms into the earth or release your strap and lift your heart up. Go ahead and allow yourself to bend the knees completely, letting the soles of the feet rest onto the mat, and we'll work our way onto our back as we guide those knees in towards our chest. Once the knees are in towards our chest, you can rock from right side of the room to left side of the room. You can also place your hands on your kneecaps and trace a few circles. They can be big circles or tiny circles. Maybe you switch it out the opposite direction, or you have some kind of combo. We are going to lower the soles of the feet down to the mat, and we're taking 3 flowing roller coaster flow-like bridges. So fingertips are down to our heels. It doesn't necessarily mean that our fingertips are touching our heels, but we are aligning the knees with the heels and then softly resting the toes down to the mat. On our breath in, squeeze the core, squeeze the pelvic floor muscle or perineum muscle, and then we inhale, tilt our hips up. As we tilt our hips up, squeeze your glutes. As you squeeze those glutes, now you're on the upper portion of your shoulders. You might want to slide your hands in and your shoulders in as well, and you may not. On your exhale, you're tapping the earth as your back and bottom come down. 2 more. Press through the soles. Inhale, we lift it up. Exhale, we stay here. Inhale, we lift it up higher. And then exhale, we release and tap the earth. Inhale when you're ready, press through the soles, lift the hips up. Those thighs are active as well as your glutes. You're letting the breath go here. You're taking one last breath in, and then we're all exhaling, releasing our hips down. Slide the shoulders out if they were in line. Walk your feet out to the edges of the mat and let your knees kiss. And then sweep your legs from one direction to the opposite. Maybe a big full belly breath in and a big cleansing breath out. You can sigh it out or really let that forceful air release. Sometimes we just need that. Come back to center, heel toe your feet back towards one another. And then inhale, that right leg goes up and that left leg lifts up as well. So now you're in a little bit of waterfall. If you happen to be close to a chair or your wall, then you can absolutely let your heels anchor on that if you'd like. But on your breath, your time, happy baby as you bend those knees and bring the blades of your feet towards your hands and the kneecaps towards the armpits. Your shoulders are towards the inside portion of your legs, and you're rocking right side to left side. Drop the tailbone down, let yourself breathe in completely. Engulf yourself with love, with mindfulness and kindness, all the things that we need. Go ahead and stop rocking if you're rocking and release the soles of the blades of your feet and give yourself a nice giant squeeze. Maybe even lift your head up off the mat. And then exhale, lower your back down to the mat, lower the toes down to the earth. As you lower the toes down to the earth, palms to your sides. Inhale, lift your hips up, slide your hips over towards the left edge of the mat, and then cactus or tee your arms out. And inhale, begin to lift your knees off the earth or your feet off the earth, and exhale, supine twist over towards that right side. If you want to take that extension that sometimes I offer, which is extending into fetal position and then opening the heart as you spin the arm behind you, then go for it. Otherwise, just begin to relax this left shoulder to the left side. Take that gaze as neutral as you need it, or a little bit more, look over to the left side. Nothing is incorrect, as always. Broken record over here. It's only incorrect if it doesn't feel right. Take another inhale here. And that exhale here. When you're ready, look up towards your ceiling or your sky, and then bring those knees back to center. Lower the soles of your feet down to the mat. Neutralize your hips. As you neutralize the hips, you can windshield wiper resetting. And then once more, soles of the feet into the earth, lift the hips, slide them over towards the right side. Inhale, lift those knees, tuck them in, and then exhale, supine twist, with or without your fetal position, and then arm extension, your choice. If you can close your eyes, close your eyes. You can find that softness through the shoulders, find that softness through your shoulders. noticing your heart, the beat of it. Maybe begin to notice the temperature that surrounds your body. Maybe the sensations that enter. Maybe even a smile appears from glee, from hope, from peace, and even from ease within you. Last breath here. And last breath out. Looking back up towards a neutral position with your neck. Inhale, knees come back to center, soles of the feet release to the mat. Realign the hips, realign the spine. Windshield wiper those legs right side to left side. If there is still something your body is craving and you'd like to go there, I encourage you to guide yourself there as long as it's within safety and within reason for your frame today. Otherwise, tuck those knees in towards your body, give yourself a big giant hug. And then on that inhale, we'll squeeze every fiber of our being, every muscle tendon, and we'll release. As we exhale, the heels come to the edges of the mat. Our arms rest to our sides. If you'd like to absorb more energy, maybe turn your palms down. If you prefer to express and share this energy within yourself and out into this ether or the earth, let your palms point up. If you prefer to find will, strength, courageousness, creativity, then let your hands rest at your abdomen, either stacked on top of one another or maybe creating a small triangle. Whatever feels right for you. If your back is tender, bend your knees instead. Let's all take a breath in together. And we'll all sigh it out. Enjoy these next moments as your gift from yourself for the time you craved, you carved out for rest, for nourishment, and for connection of your mind, your body, and your spirit. Softening the features of your face, unclenching the jaw, maybe the tongue. You take it and you lick your lips, and then you softly press them towards one another, letting the jaw, the tongue get softer and softer. Those arms, the fingers, everything feels at peace. We'll begin to reawaken our body. As we reawaken our body, we start with a full belly breath in. And that big sigh out once more. Wiggling our fingers, our toes, our wrists, our ankles, and maybe even bringing our legs together and beginning to move our head from right side of the room to left side of the room. We'll take that big morning stretch as we neutralize our spine and extend our arms over our head. And then we'll exhale, bend those knees, either wrapping those arms around yourself or slowly rolling over towards that right side, resting your head on your right bicep, bringing that left hand in front so that you can support your body. An inhale through the nose here and that exhale here. If at all possible, trust yourself, keep your eyes closed, press your hand into the earth and begin to lift yourself into a comfortable seated position. Regardless of where you're facing, as you come into that comfortable seated position, let your hands come into prayer and at your heart space. We'll all draw a breath in together. And then we'll exhale, bowing to ourselves, bowing to our journey, and bowing to one another. The divine in me salutes and honors the divine love and light in each of you. It is with love, it is with light and gratitude that I share this time with each of you. And thank you for sharing your time with me. May you have a beautiful weekend and a wonderful day. From my heart to yours, namaste.